Welcome to FAM, everyone. On tonight's episode, we're thrilled to welcome an artist whose journey perfectly embodies the magic of following your instincts. Iro is a Brooklyn based singer songwriter who transformed from a subway busker into an international touring artist through sheer determination and authenticity. After winning NBC's Songland with his collaboration Shadow alongside Macklemore, Iro has since accumulated over hundreds of millions of lifetime streams and performed to hundreds of thousands of fans worldwide. His music blends folk intimacy with alt pop shimmer, creating deeply personal songs that somehow feel universal. With his debut album, White Roses, he's proving that the streets of New York were just the beginning of his story. Please welcome Iro.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Yeah, man.
It's great to be here.
Dude, it's so great to have you. Now that your debut album is finally out in the world, how does it feel?
It feels so good I could retire. It's just the beginning. It feels like the beginning of a new chapter for sure. It was a long time coming. It was something that I've kind of it when I finished the album, it was back in 22. And since then went through a separation from a long-term relationship, from a marriage. So
Oh, wow.
so it got slowed down.
Yeah.
Took me some time to understand like what it is, how to go back to just like getting into that. We need, as an artist, we need to like be on the amount of energy to push things and to move things. It's like literally moving mountains. Like they just constantly have to be on. So I think there was a gap between how much I wanted to do that and how ready I was. So it took a second. Took
Yeah.
a second.
Yeah, no, it's so interesting to hear you talk about finishing effectively the album in 2022 and then taking your time to release it. Writing something is totally different than finishing something, which is also totally different than releasing something. I want to talk about the writing of this album
Yes.
and this specific collection of songs, because so much of your previous work has been, through collaborations. What is it about this collection that feels special or different for you?
I think this is the most personal body of work that I've put out. I think it's been a long time coming with a lot of features that I was doing that I wasn't taking, like it wasn't like 100% my vision. And here there was almost no one in the room. I didn't bring people in for opinions. I didn't ask. I was like, I'm going to make this the way I want to make it, and I'm going to keep it. And I'm going to stay true to that. Because I feel like sometimes the moment you start, trying to please everybody, and we've probably all been in those positions where somebody from a record label said, no, that one's your song. You need to focus on this style, make 10 of these, which is something that I've heard before. And here it was like kind of like allowing myself to just explore and not having to like limit it to a specific style. And it really feels like, looking at it now as a body of work, it's like, if you listen to track 1, you might not know when you arrive to track 5 how you got it. You kind of have to walk the journey, because it really blends so many different genres and styles and cultures. It's it really feels like, if I have to look at the body of work as a whole, it's like really like a melting pot. Like it's like we're in the East, when East meets West. So
Yeah.
like kind of going through my background. And
So many of your releases prior to the album were just one-off collaborations.
yes, correct.
What is it like to actually work on a cohesive body of work, especially in 2025, when so much of music is, these one-off singles that we're putting out into the ether?
It's a great question. I feel like it's so easy to get caught in thinking about how things are, like this is the way to do it now. You do one song, and if something catches, you do another, and if that catches, then you maybe make a body of work. But there's something about like albums. I mean, how many times have you heard an album and like literally just been blown away by how time starts affecting, like how you start discovering new songs, and all of a sudden, wait a minute, I actually really love track 8, or I love that one. So it's like it's more of a relationship that you're creating with the music, rather than just like getting a quick hit of something. Oh, like getting that dopamine kick from one song. It's like this allows you to like create more intimacy with the listener, and like allow them to like dive deeper into your world. And ultimately, I think that's like what feels so good about this, that aside from like, because like you could easily look at it as like, well, if you're not currently like selling out and you're not the biggest artist in the world, then no one cares about your album. But I, I'd say like, yeah,
So much of like playing the singles game is really playing the industry game, whereas playing the album game is really playing the art game, right?
I've been a serial monogamist my whole life, so it's like, it's for sure. But the album game is a long game for sure.
Yeah, I love that. I want to go back and just sort of peel back the onion, if you will, and,
Sure.
and just kind of get into sort of your origins. In previous interviews, you've mentioned that your dad is an academic, has a doctorate in math and engineering,
Correct.
and on some level, that was potentially your path. What was it like growing up in that environment? How did you get into music? At what point were you like, you know what, I don't want to be a mathematician engineer like my dad. I actually want to get into music. Yes, there's a lot of overlap with music and math, but this is the artist journey is a very distinct journey. How did that come to the forefront for you?
It was always there for me. Like no one even. I think there was like my dad in his world was he was doing like very early tech stuff before tech was like tech, like when it was still physical, like cable modems and things like that. I think I remember him being interviewed for something and then saying like, oh, he's gonna be uh something in the field, as like I was in the interview singing a song. So it was kind of like funny that it was already there, but he it still didn't. It took some time to catch up to it. And I think I was always I think the moment I discovered music and then that's what I wanted to do, that felt to me, because up until then, and this is from a person who left high school. I was like, oh, I'm gonna do. I thought I was still gonna follow. I thought I was like, I'm gonna go study physics. I'm gonna go to this, and like all my friends were like, but you just left high school. How are you gonna do that? But in my mind, that was still the movie. I wanted to be like my dad a lot, and I
Yeah.
think once I discovered like music, which kind of ironically came because like when I got serious about it was when I wrote a song for my dad.
Mm.
And then everyone there was kind of like, oh, do like it was like a moment in the studio, and like I didn't even play guitar then, and it was like kind of that moment where you're like, mom, I can sing, listen, like putting a CD in the car and like listening, and just then everything completely changed for me. So
Oh wow.
it really felt like from the moment I did that, I was like, this is me, this is my purpose. So like I've known that for quite a bit of time now.
And that's beautiful. It sounds like your dad inspired you in more ways than one. When did you first pick up the guitar? I mean, that's your main instrument along with your voice. And that's been such a big part of your records and this record, the guitar and the guitar playing. When did you fall in love with guitar as like your instrument?
I would say probably mid probably 23 years old. Like
Hmm.
I picked it up pretty late. In the beginning, I was composing songs in my head, and then I picked up the guitar, and that became like a new,
How did that come about? I mean, yeah, to be 23 and to learn an instrument is relatively late for most
for
musicians.
sure.
How did that become sort of like the thing for you?
I had a lesson, maybe one or two lessons with someone who didn't teach me per se how to play guitar. I think he was like he was a very interesting, like he was an artist himself. So like I think I was late or something for the first time, and then he wouldn't open the door. And then I was very curious, like this, no, please let me in. And then like that was like I kind of, he wanted me to respect. So the next time he showed me one little tool, and he was like, go create with this tool
Mhm.
that I gave you. So I think that was a very interesting way to learn guitar, is like I have no idea what I'm doing, but I'm gonna just try some things. And I quickly just like found like that, sometimes I'll remind myself today to do that too, like to remember to forget to play guitar,
Yeah.
and just come at it and see like, oh, let me do this, let me tune this down. Like it's more of like playing, it's like playing music, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
you
yeah.
sometimes forget that it's
Playing
playing. It's
music.
like, let's play like
Yeah.
kids, let's just play, let's. And especially sometimes I feel like when you pick up a instrument that you're not used to playing, that's also fun. It's like a toy.
Yeah.
I almost want to see what it does. Like, what does it do when I put my fingers here?
Yeah.
So it was a lot of like playfulness, I think, especially in the beginning. And then, yeah, it just became part of like the portability of it too, of like I'm gonna take this guitar with me, and whenever something comes up, I'm just gonna play. I'm gonna write a song. I'm gonna perform in the subway. I'm gonna so
Yeah. Let's
it's a
talk about
package
that.
deal.
Like, you said performing in the subway, playing in the subway, busking has been a big part of your identity as a musician. When did you first start doing that? When were you like, you know what, I want to just pick up and play in the subway and start busking in the streets of New York?
So I think I was fresh in the city, and I didn't like I had this recorded music that I've already grown out of, and it was like still the beginning of the journey. And I was like, well, what do I do now? I'm in New York. Where do I begin? And a friend was like, you should go play in the subway. And I okay, I took my guitar, I went down to the subway, and I remember it was on the Bedford at the by the on the L stop, and there was a guy playing on the platform. So I was like, he's playing, I guess I'm not gonna play too. So I walk into the train, and I play a cover of Feeling Good of Nina Simone in the train. And by the time I got back from 8th Avenue back to Bedford, it's like I'd made like $40. And
Wow.
I was like, what just happened? And then when I got back to the station, I realized that I left my winter coat. So it was kind of like, okay, you're gonna buy a new jacket. So come back and play. And I think like like in the beginning, I think you feel like I felt very insecure about like, oh, like who am I to do this? Like, am I even good enough? Like all the questions that sometimes we find ourselves asking when we start something. Like, and once it kind of surpassed that stage about it being about me, I think that's where like the magic really started to unfold. Like,
Yeah.
I've got this thing, and I'm just gonna spread it around, just like, and then so many like there's endless amounts of stories and things and feelings that arise, and it's almost like a meditation.
Just from busking, which is crazy.
Yeah.
I want to figure out how did you go from busking in the subways of New York all the way to Songland? You know, collaborating with Macklemore on Shadow, which has tens of millions of streams now. Like, walk us through the journey from busking to Songland. How did that opportunity come about, and what was that like to win that?
Um, okay, so I would say you've heard of Hogwarts, right?
Yes.
What when they run into the phone booth to get to I forgot exactly. I mean, I'm a Harry Potter fan, but I feel like sometimes I like to think of the subway station sometimes as a
Yeah.
place that can somehow teleport you to another place. Like I think just you never know. Like, and you like to be in a subway station, be discovered by a world famous DJ who then is like, come to Brazil. Like these are just like, it's mind blowing to know that that can happen, and it will happen on a day where you really probably didn't even like. I remember the day that happened for me that I did not. I was like, fuck this, I don't want to go. It was like a Tuesday night, like 11 p.m., and I'm like,
So you're busking
yeah,
at 11 p.m. on a Tuesday night,
Union
and
Square,
then a famous DJ
yes,
comes.
and it's like, do you want to make a song? Like, like, and I didn't know, I had no clue what I got into.
Yeah.
I was a guy like, playing guitar, closing his eyes on the subway. And then all of a sudden, like, I'm in Brazil, like in a stadium with like a catwalk, not knowing exactly how to perform without closing my eyes and playing guitar. Here you have like, you can't have a catwalk and not walk the catwalk. And then there's like a video I think online of me like in the drop, and like my
Yeah.
hands were kind of like not knowing what to do with themselves, like something like this. It kind
Yeah.
of like had no clue. I just like really jumping into the water, into the deep end, not knowing anything.
That's
And
crazy.
I think so that was like one definite.
And just to be
Yeah, go
clear,
ahead.
this producer DJ,
Yeah.
is one of the biggest DJs in the world.
Yes,
And your track with him has over 100 million streams.
correct.
You want to share the name of the DJ?
A-Lock.
A-Lock,
Yeah,
yes, of course.
yeah.
Which is an incredible collaboration, by the way. You guys have multiple collaborations now. And so he found you just in New York and was
Yes.
like, let's go to Brazil and record.
Basically, yeah. Just
Mm.
like and back then it was right when he started like rising, and then ever since, I mean, he's gone to do like unbelievable things, and it was It was super trippy.
That's
In the
a
best
crazy
possible
that's a
way.
crazy story.
Yeah.
Alok discovers you in the subway. Next thing you know, you have a
Next-
track with over 100 million streams.
Yes.
Love it. That's crazy. And then how did the Songland experience come from that?
So Songland came from a friend who was a co-writer, Ollie in the neighborhood, and he actually submitted us both to this show. Like he called me from I think like Bali. Like I just said yes. Like I didn't even think about it. Like I didn't know what I said yes to. And then he was like, send me like a folder, send me some of your songs like to add to the list. And then it was like basically the song that was chosen was a song that it was just like my song that I had written with a few other great New York talents with producer that goes by his producer name is Alias and Coil, which you may know from and they were we want this song, and then I was kind of still trying to finagle the situation because like it was a co-write type of thing, but but he wasn't on those songs anyway. So like it came down like we know that this is the situation. Do you want to do it? And I was like I'm not doing this. I came home and my mom and my ex-wife were sitting down in the living room and they were like get the fuck out, like you're going. And I'm like I'm not doing reality TV. I'm not getting on reality TV, no chance. And they
That's
were like,
funny.
I literally got kicked out of the house, like no joke. It was like
Oh.
a Middle Eastern energy, like there's no question, you don't have the choice here. Like you're
Yeah.
going. And I remember then yeah, got next day, flew down, and it was a wild experience because I personally um hate tests, always have. I
Mhm.
hate the idea of like
Content.
standing and being judged or like doing like it just doesn't feel like it just feels like it puts you in this in this kind of moment. And I think I don't I think I stood next to the bathroom, like on the last part where I had to showcase the song to the judges and to Macklemore, and I just remember sitting next to the bathroom for like 2 hours. Like I just kept going in and out, in and out, in and out, because I was like, that's how much it was like. It's like childhood trauma. It almost
Yeah,
touched something so specific, father expectations, the living in the liminal space of potential, and
Mhm.
not being not testing it sometimes. So like I couldn't avoid it, and it turned out great. I mean, it was a wild experience, and it was like I think when he basically said that he's choosing the song, and then he also added that he's keeping me on the song, and then it was like not only that I got a call from Dave Stewart, the producer of the show, and like he was like, "You're going to Brazil to play with him in Lollapalooza," which I thought was also insane. Like out of all places, I'm going to Brazil again, but with Macklemore. So it's
Yeah.
just like this moment of like what's happening. It was amazing.
And then you played in front of 40,000 people at Lollapalooza,
Exactly.
and it just takes off from there.
But the best part actually about the funniest thing about that show was that there was like a giant screen. Okay. And let's just say I picked the wrong shirt. Definitely picked the wrong shirt. And I had two friends who caught what happened. It was like it was on the giant screen, and I like the shirt was so tight, and I kind of like pulled it down, and you could see, and they picked up on it. Like nobody saw that, like but they
Yeah.
did, and they were like like that. Just remember, just came up right now.
Oh,
It's
that's so
hilarious.
funny. That's so great. So many, it's interesting because like so many of your songs are collaborations.
Correct.
And with Alok, obviously the Songland song with Macklemore.
Yes.
What's different for you when you're collaborating with other artists versus with this album where you're completely in your own world? Like, can you speak a little bit to the different modalities in collaboration and in solo writing?
First of all, I think there are like a few of the tracks that were written with friends on the album, but I would say that depending on the collaboration, like with these situations, it feels like when you're doing your solo, there's just like there's a little bit more room for like this like almost absolute kind of a self-expression, and like you're really like kind of like not getting so like there is obviously input. Like I worked with an amazing friend producer who we did it together, so there was like that conversation. So I think everything essentially does come down to collaboration. I'm a big believer in collaboration, and like I think that's where some of the best things happen. But yeah, I think on the level of like doing this solo project like that, you are there's certain pieces of vulnerability that I think sometimes can. I mean, there's no rules to it, but like in this specific case, I think like it really allowed for like more shadowy parts to come out for sure.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Now that White Roses is out in the wild, what's next for you?
So right now I am actively putting because I've been doing a lot of acoustic shows, and like the album really kind of like has it's implicit, but it's like very ceremonial. So like I've been experimenting with shows that really bring people in to like I have an amazing couple of people that work with me. One of them is Yana. She's like just a guru of like space, and she'll take any space and just transform it, and you're like, what just happened? And like you walk in and like everything is with roses, and it just like feels everything is really intentional and like dialed in as far as like all the little details. And I think it adds so much warmth when people walk in, and instead of just like, oh, we came here to watch a show, we're coming here to an experience. And like I can see that before the show and after the show, like you'll just see like the energy in the room and the people talking with each other. So it's really like it kind of like takes down the veil a bit between like, yes, I'm the one performing, but it's not about me. Like it's about what we create in the room. And I think like that's been super like it's really opened my mind to like this new kind of style of performing that I really enjoy doing. But yeah, world tour.
Yeah.
That's the dream right now. That's the vision to get to put out I'm making a film for this album too. So with an amazing friend cinematographer, Yishen. And when you meet the right people, it's almost like just instantly like, all right.
Yeah.
So that's also a big part of the project. And kind of like going through the seasons of what this is. It's 12 songs, 12 months, 4 seasons. The ups and downs, the grief, the coming out, death and rebirth. That's kind of like
emergence.
Emergence, exactly.
Yeah. It's awesome, man. Well, I can't wait to have you perform at FAM tonight.
Likewise, brother.
Hopefully this is the kickoff of the world tour. Yes, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, John.
Cheers.